Joined now by both Carthage head coach Dustin Haas and by Jake Tomzak here, the defensive back for Carthage here in our booth. And Coach, I'll start with you. It has to be a frustrating day today when you had some drives that started in the in their own end, in the Milliken end, and just unable to come away with points.
Yeah, it's something we talked about again, executing critical situations. Where I think we saw last week we did that, and this week we did not. Thought their D line played really, really well, and kind of outplayed our offensive line. I think that was the difference in the game.
Yeah, they did not blitz much, if any at all, today, and that's, I think, another frustrating point. They only rushed 4 guys, and they got to your guys 7 times.
Yeah, yep, and that's the difference of the game right there. If you got a good D line that can do that, you can sit 7 guys in coverage, and not a lot of guys are open when you do that, and that was a big difference.
Unable to get the ground game going, too. That's also, I know, a point of emphasis every week is to run the football, and Milliken was able to take the run away today.
Yeah, again, their front 7 played really, really well. That's where their seniors are, and they played well, and they were better than us up front today.
Defense was forced to come up with some big plays here today. One of those players, Jake Tomzak, joining us now. And Jake, your read on the game here today?
Yeah, obviously a lot of struggles we had throughout the entire game. Like Coach Haas said, not executing in critical situations. We pushed that a lot last week. Able to do that, but this week not so much. That's a frustrating thing to see. You're not going to have many things go your way when you're not performing in downs that matter.
The game plan this week was to get to the quarterback, was it not?
Yep, yeah, and we knew we were able to do that. We did that a little bit, but unfortunately not when it mattered, obviously, with the score. Weren't able to get to the quarterback enough.
Nuttall, the receiver, he provides a challenge out there because he's kind of a crafty. He doesn't look fast, but, boy, he runs his routes precise.
Yeah, and obviously, when we got those touchdowns scored on us, it was through the air, so missed assignments on our part and missed technique, and obviously looking back at it, we're going to regret that. Of course, we wish we had those back, and in moments like that, we can't rely on the D-line or backers to get there every time, so we know that's on us as well. We just, as it always is, it's all on us, missed technique, missed assignments. That's how it goes.
Yeah, and I know that's been kind of the talk all season long. If everybody just plays to their ability and not worry about the other guy, things work out. And we saw that last week with that victory on the road at Augustana.
Yep, yeah, and that's the big thing is, I'm a senior. Throwing football now, the biggest thing I've learned is, each week you're not playing the opponent on the other sideline. You're always playing yourself, and that's all over the place every single day. In the weight room, you're competing against yourself, and on the field, you're competing against yourself. It's always a battle, internal battle, and a lot of times, as the season has shown, we didn't have enough fire in us to compete with ourselves, and it's unfortunate that's how it had to go. But
4 years of Carthage football, what's going to be your takeaway?
A lot of the relationships I've made, for sure. It's kind of like that wherever you go, but here it's very special. I know God put me here for a reason, and I stayed here for a reason. I've been going through a lot of ups and downs and thought about leaving, but very, very glad I stayed, and those relationships I'll have for a lifetime, and very blessed to be here, playing here for 4 years, and have memories that'll last a lifetime.
What's in store for you once you graduate here in May?
So I'll be going to school again, actually. I had a change of heart the senior year of mine. I want to be a PE teacher and coach, so I need some extra schooling for that. Maybe looking elsewhere to go, get that in education or stay here. But football-wise, I'm done playing. It's sad to hang up the cleats, but looking to move on to the next chapter in my life and hopefully be a high school football coach, which I'm really excited about.
I think I always said strong safeties in general, make good coaches because they're in on almost every play. They can see everything develop in front of them. Am I correct in that assumption?
Yeah, I love that, and especially here, I've learned so much. My knowledge of the game has grown leaps and bounds because of who I've been around, the coaches and all that. And like I said, I'm very blessed to be here, and I think it's going to help me a lot going forward being a coach.
Talk about film study for a minute. You come out of high school as an 18-year-old, you graduate as a 22-year-old out of college, but learning how to break down and watch film, I suppose that's a challenge in itself too.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to look at. You can sit there and look at one play for an hour. There's a lot of stuff to break down. We're really big on tendencies, stuff like that. But it is a big part of the game, and you realize that a lot more coming out of high school, like you said, and going into college. It's a much more mental game than physical.
Absolutely. Dustin, the seniors on this squad here today that we honored at Senior Day today, they represent something special here, and that's a brotherhood of Carthage football.
Yeah, 100%. Like Jake said, the relationships you make, they last a lifetime. And, I think these guys, they came in as freshmen in that first, had a normal fall, but that first spring was COVID. Then they had a very strange sophomore year with playing in the spring and stuff like that. So they've endured a lot. I think they're a pretty close group because of it. And they'll find that carries on long after they're done playing.
Not going to forget about us, are you, Jake?
Absolutely not. No, no way.
I hope not. Again, the senior leadership on this team I thought was very strong. A very tight group of guys there that kind of held this team together through all this adversity this year.
I agree, yeah, and that's the great thing about football. And in the past, we haven't seen this kind of leadership from senior classes, and it was really exciting going into the season knowing we had a good group of guys who were going to be out in front of the team leading us. And I love every single one of my guys, my teammates, and especially the guys who have stuck it out for this long, because it's hard being here for 4 years, being anywhere for 4 years and playing football. You see a lot of guys go, a lot of guys not stay here for different reasons, but the good group of guys that we keep is a real good one, and it was good to go through them one more time with it this year.
I assume if there's any advice that you could give, it's that as a senior, 40 games, they go by real quick.
Real fast. Yeah, real fast.
So no more two-a-days now, and now you can study and hopefully become a head coach someday. We're going to see you on the sideline here wearing a headset and stalking officials, right?
Yes, sir. That's the plan.
All right.
That's a dream.
Jake Tomczak, you are Jersey Mike's player of the game today, a sub above Jersey Mike's subs. And Jake, you've played outstanding football here at Carthage. Congratulations on your fine career here. Good luck as you graduate in May, and hopefully get into that coaching brethren and take some of this Carthage experience with you in the coaching ranks.
Yes, sir. For sure. Thank you.
Great guy, Dustin. Jake Tomczak.
Yeah, heck of a kid. Good football player, which always helps, but I think more of it's what he does off the field. Great student, great person. You can't ask for a better kid.
What's in store for this team now as we head into the off season? What is the focus of you and the coaching staff and the team in general now? What's the message to the team going into the off season now?
Jake kind of touched on it. It's that competitive fire, right? We got to find a way to get our guys to compete all the time, right? It's easy to kind of do it on Saturday, but we got to ramp up the competition here. So it happens all the time. It happens Tuesday through Friday. That way we get better results on Saturday.
Wheaton with a win today. They finished the league at 8-1, 8-2 overall. North Central gets the automatic qualifier. Is this league strong enough? Is Wheaton's resume strong enough to get two teams into the national tournament next week?
I don't think there's a question about it. Their two losses are to top 5 teams, won by 1 point on the road. It's hard to argue that team doesn't belong, in the national tournament.
And I would suspect that a lot will come down to what happens in the Wisconsin League as far as with only 5 at-large bids. One of these leagues is going to get 2 teams in, and I got to believe it's probably the winner of that lacrosse Whitewater game this afternoon.
Yeah, it might be. I don't know if there's any 2 better leagues in football than our league and the Wisconsin League. And, if there's an argument for both leagues getting 2 teams in every year, I think it should be made. They're outstanding football played in both leagues, and we'll see what happens, but hopefully Wheaton gets a nod and gets to make a run.
In the state conference and CCIW with that Isthmus Bowl next week to kind of the next best team that doesn't make the tournament, I think adds a little more incentive to your seasons every year now with that possibility of an 11th game.
No doubt. Always great to be able to play more football, and obviously it's going to be a good football game with 2 really good football teams.
So what's in store now at the Haas household? See you around the house a little bit more now too?
A little bit. It's actually we'll jump right into recruiting season, and if you ask Jenna, she says that's the worst time because we're all over the place recruiting. But we're gonna focus in here a little bit on some kids sports here. We got basketball starting up, so Ty starts this weekend with basketball, and I'll be around to see a little more of those.
Is he coaching or playing?
He's playing, yeah, no doubt. It's a good question. Yeah, he's going to play, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's the route he ends up taking.
Well, good luck to you. Thank you again for allowing me to come on this journey. Over 3 decades now, it's been a privilege to cover this team, and I share the ups and downs with this team every week. And you know how happy I am when we win, and you know how down I am when we lose.
There's no doubt. We love having you. Couldn't ask for a better guy to do it.
Appreciate it. Dustin, thank you for everything.
Thank
Jake
you.
Tomczak, congratulations on a fine career here at Carthage. I wish we could have sent you out a winner, but I sense some good things coming your way as a coach down the road.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate
You
it.
bet. Jake Tomzak and Dustin Haas joining us up in the booth here today as Carthage unfortunately falls here at home by a final of 17-6.